Okay, well, welcome everyone. There's never been a more exciting time in proteomics, I would argue. We can now profile thousands of proteins and their modifications. We can actually quantify them, which is also really nice. That wasn't so obvious before. But I think most important, we can start out putting these technologies into the clinic. I think the other thing is, I think genomics has been great, but it really is just the start of what we need to do. We need to be making literally billions of measurements on people. I think people are realizing proteins are one of the most important things you should be measuring if you really want to understand human health and human disease. And I would argue it's one of many things. Many of you know I actually wear lots of sensors. I'm wearing 8 of them tonight. And I think we'll all be wearing that sort of thing in the future too. So I do think that the sum of data will be very, very powerful for managing human health and disease. So I would also argue that HUPO is an amazing organization. So here's my plug for HUPO. Basically, it's an organization most of you know, founded in 2001. And its goal is really to bring together leaders from, and actually researchers, I would argue, from academia, industry, and government. And we have a lot of those folks in the room here. And the goal is to bring all these folks together to be able to accomplish things that no individual groups can do. And I think it's been incredibly successful that way, about being able to invent new technologies, apply them, and really learn about human health and disease in a way that's never been possible before. And I think the field is making incredible strides that way towards human health and disease. And I would also argue that there's no better area to be applying these things to than cancer and the Moonshot Project, where we're trying to really bring these technologies to bear to help folks' health. And I think many of you don't have to look very far to see somehow the way our understanding of human health and cancer has evolved through these deep technologies we're using. I would also argue that the whole neoantigen field, the whole immunotherapy field, which has just emerged over the last few years, has been incredibly dependent, not just on the genomics, but probably more so on proteomics, where we need to understand the antigens that are showing up to be able to make appropriate vaccines for treating cancer. So I think the promises here are just enormous. The last comment I'd like to make is that this event is very unique for HUPO. It's the first time we've done something like this, so I hope all of you will enjoy yourself immensely. And if it is so successful, we'll try and run it every year. I don't know how often we'll get Joe Biden back, but we're going to try and turn him into a proteomics groupie and get him back as often as possible. And I think it's a great occasion to bring all of us together and discuss science and try and accomplish things that have never been done before. So enjoy the evening. Thank you.